fake narratives have been busted because the MSP for crops has doubled in the past decade. So says the Narendra Modi government, as the minimum support price for Rabi crops has almost doubled over the last 10 years, busting what the government says is propaganda against it on this issue by the opposition. The government on Wednesday declared an increased MSP of rupees 2,425 rupees per quintal for wheat, which had stood at rupees 1,400 per quintal in 2014-15. This translates to an increase of over 73% in the last decade. For the lentil crop, the increase was to rupees 6,700, an increase by a whopping 2.3 times compared to 2014-15. The rise has also been big for crops like rapeseed and mustard, whose MSP has been hiked to rupees 5,950 now, almost double of where it stood in 2014 and 15. Other Rabi crops like gram and barley have also seen MSP increase by almost 1.8 times in the last decade. The Union Budget of 2018-19 has set the ground rules when it made the big announcement of fixing the MSP at the level of at least 1.5 times of the all-India weighted average of the cost of production. There has been a steady increase in the MSP of both the Rabi and Kharif crops in the Narendra Modi regime. INP Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said that people try to run a fake narrative of an MSP, but these figures should be presented before such people. He also described this as a very big contribution to farmers' income and the real welfare of farmers. The government also said that the value of the crop purchased on MSP between 2004 and 2014 under the UPA rule was about rupees 7.41 lakh crore, while under the decade of Modi rule, the procurement value has risen in a big way to rupees 20.64 lakh crore, a rise by almost 3 times. Ashwini Vaishnav said that the farmers in Haryana had told the media that the MSP they got on crops was satisfying, and that is why they had backed Narendra Modi's party, the BJP, in the recent elections. The government had also increased the MSP for Kharif crops in June this year, taking the MSP of paddy to rupees 2,300 per quintal and rupees 3,371 for jowar. The MSP for these crops had stood at just rupees 1,360 and rupees 1,530 respectively in 2014-15, again showing an increase by nearly 2 times. Other popular Kharif crops like bajra and maize have also seen their MSP rise to rupees 2,625 per quintal and rupees 2,225 respectively, up by nearly 2 times as well from a decade ago. The Rabi crop, in fact, has seen its MSP increase by nearly 3 times in the past decade, from rupees 1,500 10 years back to rupees 4,290 now. The government also says that it is more than adequately covering the cost of production for the various crops, with the margin over the cost of production for a farmer standing at 105% for wheat and over 50% for paddy, the two main staple crops of the country.